this real quick. You fell asleep. Yeah, we're supposed to be on at 7 o'clock. You still tired? Bum, bum. Let me see. You want water? You want water? You're just mad? You gotta go back to sleep, huh? I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's do this so we can get and answers people's questions. We'll start in 5 minutes, but let me post it. What's up, guys? I'm gonna give people a little bit to join. I'm gonna start at 7:45 p.m. EST. We're gonna give them time to join because yeah, we kind of overslept, and I want people to have an opportunity to join and ask their questions. Let me start putting this on the. Yeah, well, oh, say now. I'm sorry. I know I go to sleep. Cool. Alright, let me put this in the group chat. Yeah, so give me like, I think 4 minutes. And all of your questions. DBS. Okay, Miles? You probably hate me right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, but if you guys have any questions, please leave it. I'm gonna do my best to get to all of them. So make sure to leave it. I'll probably stay on for, I don't know, let's say half hour max. Because I gotta put this kid back to sleep. I literally woke up and like I looked at my phone, it was like 7:06. And I'm like, oh snap. So please leave your questions down so we could do this thing quick. I'm just sharing everywhere that I'm actually live now. They probably thought I forgot. Yeah, we just kind of fell asleep. DBS, TCG. Dun, 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 dun. I'll post this afterwards, of course. Oh, I gotta tell my team chat too that I'm live. I think someone texted me from over there. Let me double check it real quick. Nick, what's up, Nick? Coop, what's up, Coop? Kiki, what's up? Yeah, Nick, you can hop in a Discord if you want, but the beginning part, I'm just gonna talk about the Pro Play Tour, and then if we have time, and then this kid's not still killing me, we'll talk about like other stuff in general. But right now, I just want to focus like on the Pro Play Tour circuit itself, because a lot of people have questions to that. And like I said, I'm gonna go down and have actual details so you guys can read and have it available for you guys. But it's just faster for me to briefly go through everything real quick. Yeah, a lot of people tag me. Like, I can't even go through them all anymore. Da-da-da. Let's let me get Andrew, I guess. I think it's Andrew, Figs, and Nick. The worthy people. You okay, Miles? It's okay. We're almost done. Trust me. Alright, gonna be up that long. Alright, I'm just pulling up a column so I can see your questions. And we will start right. What time is it? In less than a minute. Um, hmm. Yeah, I'm like half asleep. I'm not gonna lie. That sleep was good, man. Woo. All right, I have everything up. Let's just do it like this. It's okay. It's okay. You're okay. All right, I'll start over again because it's 7:45. All right, what's up, Dragon Ball fam? Eddie Hilaire here with my mini me. We were sleeping, so sorry that we didn't come on at 7 o'clock p.m. like we said, but we're here now, and let's get to the talk. So yeah, Pro Play Tour Invitational. So a couple of things people has been asking me about it. Like I said, always feel free to leave your questions and comment down what you feel and your thoughts in the comment section. I'll get to it. The questions I've been getting are number one, is this cash, and is this store credit, right? So to answer that, the webcam event, the 5K, all right, the invitational for webcam event. Number one, I'm not gonna lie, I want to keep clear transparency, right? So there's no if, ands, or buts about it. Both events I want to cap at 128. I believe that makes a maximum for 7 rounds. And realistically, I think you need 129 to have top 16. But I want to cap both events at 128 players. And then from there, it'll be 7 round max or the one undefeated. We will have top 16. So we play out top 16. So I just want to start off with that. And to keep transparency between all the events, I'm not going to lie, guys. I've been really thinking since we have a cap of just putting both events as a 4K. Because when I put it as a 4K, right, it's letting you know, like, hey, I'm not going to set your hopes high for a 5K. Because for a 5K, realistically, I don't think I could cap it. I just think I just should be able to let people go. But it's not going to be realistic because you guys are going to have a poor tournament experience. And then with that being said, it's like, that's not something we want to sacrifice just for the higher echelon of another $1,000. You say, hey, you're in a 5K, but then it was run like crap because we were doing it all day. People were just waiting and complaining. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Right now, I'm really on the verge of turning both events into a 4K. This is referring to the webcam invitational and the in real life invitational. But 100%, they're gonna be capped at 128 players. Like that's 100% locked. Like I said, that would be a maximum of 7 rounds, and the baby girl is sleeping, or she's awake crying. But that would be a maximum of 7 rounds. The webcam event is going to be store credit because you guys aren't traveling anywhere, right? The whole point of travel vouchers is if you travel, you spent money to come compete, and we're going to reimburse you. The in real life event will be travel vouchers, point blank, period. I'm not gonna try to sit there and explain how I'm paying people travel vouchers to sit at home and play Dragon Ball. But with that being said, the in real life event, I believe you guys have that date. It should be the weekend of March 6th through March 7th. That is going to be down at Pro Play Games in Miami, Florida. Make sure to come check us out for that. That you will receive travel vouchers because you guys spent money to come out and fly to play with us. So we'll reward you with the actual travel vouchers and not store credit. What other questions do you guys have for me? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You hear your sister crying? So yeah, this is going to really thrive with you guys and your questions, depending on what kind of questions they are. Let's see. You better drop that heat for Vajex. Yeah, man. Vajex is wild. Yeah, he's telling you too. Vajex is wild, man. I was playing it, and at first, I ain't gonna lie. My biggest issue with Vajex, it wasn't really so much that, hey, the splintering line got hit because it's extra damage and all that good stuff. Because realistically, it doesn't really matter for the extra damage. You'll always be able to find extra damage when it comes to that deck. Because like I said, all your stuff are free. My biggest, you're gonna go play with little sister? Alright, bye. Love you. Bye. My biggest concern when I was playing that deck was that Splintering Mind allowed you for easy. When I say easy, I'm talking about super easy board removal. For instance, Goku Hit is literally a problem. Since Bibi got errata, Goku Hit has been a bane of our existence. I said this from the beginning of time. The hardest matchup for Regex, I thought it was Green Gold Tanks for the longest until I actually sat there and I played the deck. The hardest matchup for Regex is not Green Gold Tanks. It's pretty simple once you sit there and you know what you're doing. Same thing with Red Broly, right? The hardest matchup for Regex was Blue. When I say Blue, it's literally because you have things like the best counterplay in the game because it's free, right? They don't play it. They just, hey, discard it and you bounce whatever to see your hand. And they had the ability to use the Zamasu super combo and also Goku Hit. Goku Hit was literally a problem for the deck. But once I had Splinter Mind and everything, it was okay, cool. Their first attack, if they're arrested, would always be with the Vegeta Reluctance. They would sit there and activate battle to restand it, and I just warp it with the Splinter in mind. The same thing with the 9-drop Sync Shenron, right? If they went first and they had an established Sync Shenron, a 9-drop Sync Shenron on board, it was super easy for me to deal with. So I'm like, okay, have Reluctance on board, you protect the Reluctance, then you warp it, but before you warp the 9-drop, you have either Quetz, like multiple Quetzalcoatls, or you have Black Power Mass Saiyan, and it kind of cancels out them drawing to her playing. Even they're going to do it because they're going to sit there and want to create the value that the 9-drop brings out by playing the 1-star ball. But there were so many things you could do with Splintering Mind. It was insane. I don't know how to describe it, but it was insane. Not just for, hey, yes, it helps you awaken, because realistically, those 2 cards you never saw them, right? You just warped them. Is he okay, babe? Because those 2 cards, you never saw them. You really just sat there and you warped 2. So it's not for a hand advantage. It was more so for the awakening thing. But now with all the new support we have a bunch of self-awakeners now, which is insane. Like a bunch of them. So with that being said, Splintering Mind, it's nice and all, but at the end of the day, it wasn't really necessary. Like I said, you guys all heard me say, I compare Vegex to John Wick. You can keep taking away its weapons, but John Wick will always be John Wick. If he has a pencil, he'll kill you with a pencil. If he has a freaking, he'll probably kill you with an eraser, dude. Like, that's just how he is. Alright. I know I don't want a tangent there with Vegex. I saw someone talking about it. So, I was helping you guys out. Let's see. You better drop that heat. Yeah, that's why. The sun is fine as John. Yeah, thanks. We be lit for March Invitational. Yes, we will. March Invitational will be insanely lit. Where are my comments? All right. So, what other questions, comments, concerns do you guys have for me for the event? We could talk about format. We could talk about wherever you guys want to talk. But like I said, this live will thrive off of your energy. I always answer whatever questions you guys have, and then we'll take it from there. Those are the 2 biggest things. Like I said, a recap for the Invitational. I'm really borderline on switching both events to a 4K because it's more realistic to me to have a 4K versus trying to spread thin and make the event not to standard, right? Because I'm trying to chase the glory of being a 5K, but 4K is still a lot to compete for. Another thing is they're both going to be capped. Oh yeah, invites for these events. If you have an invite right now, right? Let's say myself, I think myself got it, Justin, all those guys. People have invites right now, and people who earn invites for the future. You will be eligible to cash in an invite for both events. So if you have an invite, you can play, you can come down, and it's not restricted to the US, right? If you're overseas, you can come. If you're in Canada, you can come. You can play in real life event, and you can play in a webcam event. So if you have an invite, it's very, very valuable to you. And the sign up for this invitation, like I said, since it's going to be capped, we'll probably have that out in January. How it's going to work is if you have an invite, you get to sign up for both events or one event. It's totally up to you. But like I said, it's going to be a 128 player cap. We're going to put it on there. Once that thing hits cap, that's it. That's only, even if you have an invite, if you didn't sign up, you're not guaranteed a spot. We'll put it up. I'll make sure I advertise it. Once that link comes up to register for either the in real life one or webcam one, if you want to do both, make sure you sign up. Like I said, you can have an invite, but if that thing is full and you guys did not sign up for it, you're gonna have issues. I'm gonna look at you and say, guys, I advertised it. It was coming on this day. Make sure you sign up by that day. So that's another big thing I just wanted to get out to you guys. Are we still having that because of the band night? There are no band night events going on that weekend. Rival Cooler is the Cosmo Dark right of DBS. It really is. I'm trying to think. Man, I had so much to say and we fell asleep. And I have some good sleep. I'm trying to think what else I missed out on. I hit on the webcam event. I hit on the really, really big. Like I said, I'm gonna have this on paper. I just have to type it up and then present it to you guys. For this weekend, guys, if you're facing an international player, make sure before you guys start the game, someone is determined to have their phone out, like in front of everyone, because no one's reaching out in their pocket. International players, it's probably gonna be on you or you out of US players that have their phone in front of them, like in the middle of the mat, because you guys are going to be able to play with your cards, and your cards are most likely could be in foreign language, right? It's not going to be in English. So make sure before the match starts, it's up to you that your opponent or you settle who's going to have their phone in the middle, because if you need a translation, use your phone, go to DBS Decks or Shinron's later and pull the card up. So I don't want people going in their bags or in their pockets trying to pull out a phone and then, hey, something shady looks. But all that stuff is going to be clearly outlined for you guys. So that's another big thing. Like I said, I had a list of stuff before that sleep. That sleep is still kind of killing me right now. But the biggest thing is this weekend, open to both U.S. and international players. This weekend, I expect a lot of Red Broly. If you're playing Red Broly, good luck to you guys. I myself will not be playing Vegeks. I don't want to play Vegeks and start taking people out. I want to play something cool, and something that I've been working on the last couple of weeks is going to be Dark Broly. I'll tell you that right now. I feel like Dark Broly, I'll be fine. Red Broly, it's probably my hardest matchup, but it's everyone's hardest matchup is Red Broly, right? He just gotta know how to play against the guy. If you really, 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 really want your invite, I highly suggest the two decks you play. It's either Red Broly or it's Vegeks. Like I said, I won't be playing Vegeks, so I want you guys to get your invites. I don't want to just start chop. So, Red Broly, Vegeks, if you want to get your invite. I highly suggest those two decks. After that, the next decks I would say go ahead and go with would be Green Gold Tanks. The reason why I say go ahead with Green Gold Tanks or even Sync Shinron is because I know everyone who wants an invite will be on Red Broly. A majority of players. And technically, I think this is the last event, webcam event, before the ban list. So people are going to want to enjoy their time with Vegeks. So those are the two counters if you want to just try to combat the meta, because you don't have either Vegeks or Red Broly. So you have those two decks. But make sure you have plenty of playtesting hours with those decks. Will there be a replay? My girlfriend called me during your explanation. Yes, Cyril, I'll upload this on YouTube for those people who want to hear this on YouTube. Like I said, I'm not going to keep this long. This is really just going to thrive off of you guys and your questions, because I had a lot of DMs, bro. And I'm not trying to be rude or ignorant. I'm just not going to go through each and every single one, because there's literally a lot that I have to go through and comments. But a lot of questions were usually the same. I was asking about the webcam event. There was store credit versus travel vouchers. One's going to be travel vouchers, one's going to be store credit. The webcam World's Championship, that is going to be something. I don't want to spill the details yet, but just know it'll be X amount of players from the top cut of the real life invitational, X amount of players from the top cut of the webcam invitational, X amount of players from the leaderboards, and then X amount of players from, I'm not going to tell you that yet. But it's 4 things. It's going to be top 32. So, yeah. It's going to be lit. What else do we have? Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to ask now. Because if not, I'm going to go put my son back to sleep. Like I said, I'll have a replay of this up on YouTube. But right now, you get to ask any questions you want. If you need deck advice, whatever it is, just let me know. If you need deck help for this weekend, webcam this week, I'm telling you right now. If you're playing blue, be prepared. I'm just telling you right now. I'm not trying to be mean. Like, you guys know me. I tell you straight up how it is. It's going to be an uphill battle for you because those people who are coming in purely for the invites, Red Broly is very accessible right now. Very, very, very accessible right now. And that deck will literally. I don't. Oh, there's another thing. I hate when people say pilots, right? The whole talk about the whole pilot situation and all that good stuff, that literally stemmed from me. But you guys kind of took it and ran with it. The whole talk about pilots was way back when, I think it was set 11, where people were saying Invoker is not the best deck. Invoker is not one of the top decks. And I'm like, Invoker is pretty much the best deck. Like, you just have to know how to pilot it. And I kept telling people, like, hey, this is the reason why Invoker's not doing good. Look at who's playing the decks. Like, no offense to those players, but you have to have hours behind certain decks in order to pilot to success. And that's when, like, the whole talk about pilot, please, 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 let's just dead the whole pilot talk. That was specifically for Invoker, period. Because that is a very deck extensive learning curve that you need to learn before you actually play that deck. Yes, every deck you could say pilot, but it's just when people say it, it's just like irritating. So I'm like, it doesn't matter realistically because how you look at a deck shouldn't be about who pilots it. It should be about, hey, this is how I tell my teammates, right? If I'm talking crap about a deck, what would happen if Eddie A versus Eddie B? That's the only thing she was looking at. If Eddie A had Red Broly versus Eddie B, which had any blue deck that I love, who would win consistently? That's how you should look at who's piloting a deck, not by who is doing it except for yourself. That's the best test to see, hey, am I fighting an uphill battle or am I not fighting an uphill battle? We have Kiki DVS. What do you think Dark Broly lacks to be top meta? I'm not gonna lie, Kiki DVS, I feel like right now Dark Broly is the most underrated next to Invoker because a lot of people still sleep on Invoker for some reason. Don't ask me why. Invoker's one bad matchup this format is Red Broly. If Red Broly was not in the top, people say Sing Strength on only, it's a not. I play the deck. Like, I've been playing the deck and I've been putting hours behind it. And even though I still mispicked, like I said, you have to have hours behind that deck, I still ended up winning because the deck has an uninteractable win con that you really can't say nothing to. It has multiple uninteractable win cons that you can't go. And I do have some spice in there because you guys know me. I don't like to just go with a regular, just cookie cutter deck. I like to put some spice behind it. It's like, oh damn, this is how it is. But Dark Broly, I feel like Dark Broly doesn't really lack anything. I feel like if that one drop Goku that has deflect and says if your opponent uses a counter card, that's a warp a card from hand. If that was this set, I probably would have realized Dark Broly was insane a long time ago. Because the only thing that really threatens Dark Broly is is blue. Because blue, you either main deck your answers to blue, and you just sacrifice your stability over the meta for other matchups, or you just have him in the sideboard like me. You may just have him in the sideboard because literally blue, the only thing you worry about is the counterplay Trunks because it literally time locks you. Because against red, they have Violent Raise, it doesn't really matter. Just make sure you time your swings correctly, right? You always swing with your Ravager first. You swing with your Ravager, they're going to Violent Raise you to lose 2. Then you'll swing with your leader, you'll combo off your Ravager. Then you bring your Ravager back, they lose another one from hand. There's only a certain amount of time they can keep doing that. That's the same thing with Dormant, right? There's only a certain amount of time they could keep trying to lock you without losing your hand. And once you lose your hand against Dark Broly, bro, those 30Ks, when you attack, you say no combo. Those 30Ks add up really quick. And those players who don't play super combos that draw cards, like blue and green, they don't play super combos that draw cards, and things add up really, really quick. So to answer your question, Kiki, I don't really think Dark Broly is missing anything right now. Yes, I wish I had another 6 drop that had an effect, because I just cut down my ratio, say 3-3-3, and then 3 for the 4th one. Right now, I have them all in 4-4-4, like 100% 4-4-4. When people say play less than 4, I don't know why. Because you want to be able to, if you have it in your hand, to just charge it and not having to worry about it. Or if you're playing 3, let's say you charge 1, 1's in life, 1 is a thing. Like, you don't want to be playing that game. Play 4Us. You guys know I love playing 4Us. Hope that answers your question on Dark Broly. The only, in my opinion, right now, when I played, let me put it this way. I'm not going to get into the deck, but I played the deck multiple times now at 2 shop championships. I'm going to play it again this Saturday at my local shop championship. I'm going to play it again on Wednesday. The only deck, every single time I played, it was been 2-0s. The only deck that I struggled against was Red Broly. Because Red Broly, it's just hard. Because when you lock them, you literally have to do it in a way that it's just awkward. And it's like, like I said before, if I look at Eddie A for Eddie B, and Eddie A was playing Red Broly and Eddie B was playing Dark Broly, 100% of the times Red Broly has the matchup. After the pen that everything goes right for me to play that deck. And you don't want to play a deck like that to get your invite and stuff. That's why I said I highly recommend Vejex or Red Broly if you want to either win or get your invites. With the deck, I'll tell you right now, Dark Broly versus Vejex, I'm undefeated against that deck. Like, to beat me using Vejex, you probably would have to catch 2 Trunks off rip. So even if you catch 1 Trunks, I'll give you every single meal. Like, you could have your Unison, your Vegeta, your Trunks, and 2 Kais. I'll give you the nuts. You still won't win. So I poly that deck, you're not going to beat it. But if you catch 2 Trunks and 2 Splintering Minds, the reason why you'll win is because I can't keep up with 2 guaranteed damage off Splintering Minds. I'll give you the 1, but I can't catch up with 2. Miles, come. Miles. Come, baby. Come. Come here, what's wrong? Mommy showing your sister love and not you? It's okay. I love you. It's okay. What is the best version of Broly? Which is the best version of Broly? It's 100% red. Like I said, I'm not biased. I mean, I am biased, but I'll be objective, right? Red Broly is the best deck in the game, hands down. Jackbox 6 ensured that. Pre-Jackbox 6, it was Vejex. But right now, like I said, I'm not biased. It's Red Broly. 100% it's Red Broly. Dark Broly's there. It's just, I don't know. You have to look at Red Broly for all your decks. That's why I said right now, I wouldn't advise anyone playing blue because essentially when you could hand destruction your opponent while just hitting for only crits, I really would not advise people play blue. I know my boy Anthony Figueroa said he's going to be playing a certain deck. I'm not going to put his business out there. And I told him, I'm like, bro, how you going to deal with Red Broly? He's a phenomenal player. And the way I tried to explain it to him, I said, I'm not trying to take shots at you. My thing was, if Anthony Figueroa A was playing Red Broly and Anthony Figueroa B was playing this deck, the Red Broly Anthony Figueroa version would win 100% of the time. That's how I try to explain it to people. How do you feel about reboot leaders and their place in the meta? I feel like Mega Frieza, I ain't gonna lie, is gonna be wild today. The reason why is gonna be 8 cards. Like I said, I'm a man of 4 of those. The 8 cards, in my opinion, that'll get Mega Frieza there are going to be the Planet Vegetas that you play for free, and you're gonna grab your 1-drop Black Mass Saiyan, and you're just gonna play it. And you're gonna shut down half the meta, which is going to be insane. And then the best deck in the game, you naturally counter that deck because you have cards that interact with the 1-drop. And you have I really want to say it's Tyrannical Blow, which you just, they play it and just negate it. And like, it's just a 1-drop swap. And not only that, like I said, you guarantee to have a Black Mass Saiyan turn 1, which shuts down a majority of the meta with Mecha Frieza. The announcer and stuff like that, I don't really want to get into it because I'm not gonna lie to you. When things like that come out, it's all fun and games, but people who play the deck are usually excellent players, and then the results get skewed, right? Because they'll take out a lot of players with decks that aren't really experienced as them, but once they face another higher caliber player with their same level of experience, they're going to get eliminated. That's just how it is. I feel like announcers, cool. Like I said, sort of dogs. I know, shout out to Marcus Cantarsi. He was playing with that deck. Like I said, those shots to anyone, those decks are cool decks, but if you want to be able to succeed, and then once again, the most important thing to me is for you guys to get your invites, I highly would not recommend those decks. What do you think Dark Broly lacks? I think I answered that question. I don't think Dark Broly lacks anything. I feel confident finishing my best of 3 round without interrupting. With internet and webcam disconnect being an issue. What are your thoughts of how to come back? Yeah, Koopzilla for the webcam. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to have it pretty much before today's over. Not today, I ain't gonna lie. I gotta put this kid back to sleep, and I probably gotta feed him. He's hungry now. Probably tomorrow. I'll have strict, very, very strict rules because, like I said, I take this very important for you guys to earn your invites, and I want to put that on the #1 priority of me. Like, make sure you guys are qualified for these events. There's going to be some serious things. I'm sorry that it's that strict, but it's a give and take, right? A lot more people get to participate now and earn their invites and play in these events. But with that being said, I have to set a standard. I can't just say, hey, you're playing, mistakes happen. No, like if you disconnect whatever it is, I know a lot of people give you warning, give you time to come back. I'm sorry. In my opinion, that should be a game loss. Point blank period. I'm sorry, whatever happens. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I have to set a standard, and that's just how it has to be held. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Ba. Nick says Dark Broly doesn't lack anything. Yeah, Dark Broly doesn't lack anything. The only thing that I would say would push Dark Broly over the edge is if that one drop Goku, the one with the deflect that says if your opponent activates a counter, they have to warp a card. If that goes out right now, oh my. I'm just gonna stop right there. Oh my god. That would be something else. That's it. Like it would be something else. They sleep on Trunks. My boy Trey Faircloth with the Trunks game in here. What we have? Koopzilla. I know you have solid experience with Mono Green Gohan. Or with the sideboard. Honestly, I think that was a mistake. I think Mono Green Gohan can still take over a best of 3 meta. Mono Green Gohan, because this is how you gotta look at it, right? People always had things in the sideboard because they're like, you know what, Mono Green Gohan is a powerhouse, but it's a shotgun deck. Yes, it's a shotgun deck, but it's not something that can be easily countered, right? When I say that, it's more leaning towards the next set when this ban kicks in. I don't know how else to stress the importance of that one drop Son Goku with Deflect that says if you activate a counter, your opponent has to warp one. And Mono Green Gohan, right? Mono Green Rubu Gohan. If you have multiple of those bad boys on, I don't know what version you guys are playing, but if you're playing the version I played, the hand destruction version I played, if somehow I did not hit the counter from your hand, and I have multiple of those Gokus on board, dude, I'm just not going to untap my leader, because by the time you have that one counter in your hand is dead. That's it. Your hand's going to be, I pass you, you're going to draw that one card, and now you're in a decision whether you should charge it, or you should play, or you should hold it in your hand. And that's going to be it. I'm not going to get into really deep detail into it, Coop, but in my opinion, Mono Green Gohan just being banned for best of 1, it's not that bad. Like, trust me, like, the deck is still 100% playable. You leaving me? Bye. Like, Mono Green Gohan is still a powerhouse. And those players who said, hey, it's whatever, it's a joke in best of 1, I hate people who do that. Like, it's not a joke. It's more popular in best of 1 because, yes, players understand that it's hard for you to have main board answers without sacrificing your other matchups. But, dude, in best of 3, that deck is... I took it to a best of 3 and talked with it while playing 2 different events. Like, it's just as powerful, dude. Like, it's really hard to interact that deck, especially if you really focus on hand destruction. It's really, really hard because it comes down to a numbers game. You can always count for a negate. Once you count for a negate, you count your super combos, Android 18 super combos, your Cell Kamehameha. It literally comes down to a numbers game. Once you have those numbers in your head, it's damn near impossible for your opponent to win, especially when you know your opponents are not playing draw super combos. That's when I say Green Gohan literally excels, because it's like, okay, cool, I know he's playing blue yellow super combo Zamasu. That does not draw. Even if he has, he could calculate the damage. I need to get to X amount, and no matter what, his hand's going to be X amount, point blank, period. So I hope that answers your question for that, Coop. C Deadpool, that's a cool username, C Deadpool. Dark Broly doesn't miss anything. Be strong tier 1, but problem at the moment is other decks. That's the thing with other decks. When I play Dark Broly, I'm gonna lie, the 2 decks I'll tell you right now that I've been putting hours in because I really want to master it are Invoker and Dark Broly. Those decks don't really care if you put early damage on. Yes, it hurts because they can't defend it, but once they get going, I can sit at, I wouldn't sit at 1, but I can sit at 2 to 3 life and be comfortable with both decks. Like, that's one of the biggest things. Shout out to my boy Legends. I learned when you just sit there and sit back, you're playing you don't panic, you can comfortably sit at 3 to 2 life. I want to go to 2 because 2, now you have to 100% negate leader swings because those leader swings are lethal. You can sit at 3 life comfortably for the rest of the game without worrying about anything. That's why I said against Vajex players, I told them all, right? Because the thing was, they had Spencer Mine and they left me at 2, but the thing that would have killed me is that they caught 2 Trunks. If you catch 2 overround Trunks, it's really hard because no matter what, by default, I'm going to be at 1 life. And it's just rough from there going forward. So I hope that answers the question. Yeah, Dark Broly is not as bad as people think it seems. Trust me, guys. Like, it's really insane. Especially for the fact that they can't really kill you like that on their turn. And you can just say, swing for 30k. And if you're 100% taking a card in their hand, because it's a negate. And I can't stress the important. If you're not playing draw super combos, those cards are going to start to add up quick. Because if I see you're not playing draw super combos, and like you're 4 or less, I just put 35, you're losing at least guaranteed 3 cards unless you're playing an IAR card. So, What's your thought against the meta's dominant deck that are low-key aggressive. Okay, so it's two questions. Let me break it down. Would you go quicker than them, or I think see Deadpool? You're talking about Dark Broly. That's one thing, right? Play your game. Dark Broly, it's hard for you to be. I don't care if people say like the deck could transition from the aggro to this, controlling this. No, the deck, in my opinion, pilots on one speed. So does Invoker. Like you have to stall, you have to build up your foundation, and once your foundation is built for Invoker, it's hard to just break that wall. It's like Invoker, you're building a foundation to a wall. In Dark Broly, you're building a foundation to both a wall and like I don't know. It's like AC-130 bombers at the same time. Because dude, not only do you have a wall, it's like when you clap back on your turn, it's insane. They lose multiple cards from their hand, like multiple, and it's not like they could just attack your 30Ks because they always have to attack your leads. Because to attack the 30Ks, they have to give you multiple cards in order to even get to 30 for your 30Ks. And then somehow you just feel like, hey, you know what? It's 30, whatever it is, they die. They don't care because you bring it out for free. That's another thing I want to see in this game. Cards that are able to be played for free are really, 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 really crucial in this game. And then your second question is, would you go quicker than always play your strategy. That's the thing. Always play your strategy. Biggest common mistake that I used to play with Invoker, I don't do anymore, is you play your Vegeta on 3 and you awaken. Like, no. Literally, stay on your backside with Invoker for the longest. You play Invoker, you have Vegeta out, they swing at you, whatever it is, it's cool. Once you're you don't understand, once you're stabilized with Invoker, you can be at comfortably, if you're not playing a Spencer or mine, 2 life, and you'll be good. Like, they're not going to be able to touch you at all. No matter what they do, counter their leader swing, counter their unison. It's like hard counter those guys, everything else could never kill you, because you'll literally blow it up, or you'll literally just stop it, like you'll bounce it back. That's the biggest thing I could tell you guys. Another question, do you think, hold on, I gotta move this. Another question, what do you think the fact that Black does not have interaction like that? Alright, Tiki DBS. Yes, Black does not have a free counterplay, but once again, the one drop Goku from set 12 is essentially like a one drop card. Man, I saw that card. Once I saw that card, I'm like, how do people say Vegeta is bad? You're replacing, I'll tell you this part of that deck, you're replacing a guy that guarantees 1 damage for a guy that guarantees you take away at least 1 card from your opponent. Because 100%, your opponent is going to have counterplays, right? And I'm not talking about just counter like negates. That thing says counters, period. I'm talking about free counters, all that good stuff, period. It has deflect. Not only does it has deflect, it does not say like once per turn. Like it's once per turn per copy. If you have 4 of those, it's like it's equivalent of me. You know, I like 4 of those, right? You see me guys play on stream. You see when I go off on my turn, I use 3 to 4 Quetzal cards. If I'm about to go off and I know the bomb is going to explode pretty soon, the turn prior, I'll play 3 to 4 of those 1-drops. And like I said, you could grab them back with Power Burst. So worst case scenario, if I have 2 to 3, whatever it is, and you have Topo because you're playing red, oh my goodness, bro. You're losing Topo. You're losing a card you pitch for a Topo. You're warping 1, you're warping 2, depending on how much I have. Like, it gets really, really, really downhill from there for the opponent. It's really, really, really clutch. That's all I could say for that. So I don't think you can really give Black a counter. The only real counterplay could give them anyway is you play something. It couldn't be a destruction effect, right? Because Black really focuses on drop area. So it would be you play this for free. I guess it's like a free blocker and you warp something from their drop, something like that to that effect. That's what I say. And it's really hard as a Black player to defend your unison as well. So even if you did have a counterplay, I don't really see myself playing it because other unisons plus 2, all that good stuff, all Black unisons plus 1, besides the Gotenks unison, but you're not going to really play that in Vegex because your slots are too tight already. I like 50 cards. That was the biggest issue I had with Vegex, by the way. Vegex staying at 50 is really rough now. Like, really, really rough. Let me see. What other questions? I think I've answered everyone's questions. If I haven't, please let me know. Let me see. Oh, my bad. Let me rearrange my camera because I do have more questions behind my phone. We have, what's over here? Another question. What do you think? No, that's the one that I said. For example, in Meta EU about the Gohan. The meta in EU is about Gohan, Reboot, Broly, BR, Vegeks, Triangle. That's weird because I understand Gohan's really. Oh, you're talking about best of ones, though, I believe. This is best of three. So, like I said, Reboot Gohan, in my opinion, is 100% not dead. You making it best of three, it's just whatever. Because you can mainboard things that say, hey, if you activate a counter, I'm not gonna get into that deck, but I don't want to give it out because that deck's really. If you know what to do with Reboot Gohan, it gets really, really annoying because that's one of the decks in this game where it doesn't matter how good your opponent is. It comes down to pure numbers. Once you're able to calculate those numbers, you have for sure win percentage ratios. You okay, Miles? Come here, come here. Let me read you the book. Come here. Yeah, so see Deadpool. Hopefully, I answered your question. Cause I'm trying to think how else. Like Red Broly, I could coach you guys on how to beat Red Broly with Reject. It's really simple in my opinion. Like I said, they got a lot more explosiveness because difference prior to Draft Box this. Once you cleared their stuff, they had no real comeback for it. But now if you clear it, they don't really care because they have all these extra neat toys they can play with, and they say, "Cool, you did it. You're not gonna do it again because now I'm awakened and I'm just gonna go off." What do you think of Black Man saying in Dark Broly? Right now, it's alright. I'll tell you guys. Right now, in my deck, it's a 4 of. It's because like you're going against Vegeks, they're already on an uphill battle. Because with Vegeks, you control their entire game state. The only thing you cannot control, it's hard for you to control, is their splintering mind. That's why I said once again, the games that would be close would be if you caught two splintering mind. I mean, two of your overall trunks and went first. That's never happened to me, and by result, I clap all Vegeks players to 0. But if you catch two trunks, it becomes really difficult because splintering mind is something you can't really account for while you're taking damage and stuff. But yeah, Kiki DBS, you had to have Dark Power Man saying at least at 3 because everything in this format has a lot of that stuff besides blue. But for blue, you would sideboard them out and you would put in things like Super Kamehameha. So once they hit you with the trunks, you're like, cool, fam, you tapped out for that trunks because it's not going to be a D magic, it's going to be a trunks. They're usually going to have the one energy open, and once they trunks you, they're tapped out for it, and it's bam. Right then and there, you just kill them. I think Vegeks is strong and Black Gogeta comes in hard. The only problem is that it'll be a very expensive deck. My Vegeks deck is never expensive. My Vegeks, I always play the budget version, so the Gogeta I can see because Gogeta has a lot of unique tricks in toys. I can see it kind of coming as being expensive, but the actual Vegeks deck itself, it's not that expensive. It's really, really super budget friendly. Sorry about that. I'm trying to put my phone up. What else? So yeah, I'm gonna start wrapping it up unless you guys have more questions for me. Like I said, it could be questions about the meta, it could be questions about the actual tournament, all that good stuff. I'll do my best to type them up tomorrow, because tomorrow I should have some time. I gotta take my both kids now to the doctors. What do you think of the Secret Rare Kai? Secret Rare Kai is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really, really cool card, but I don't have it in my Vegeks deck. Not saying that I wouldn't play it. I just don't like putting expensive cards in there because I like to be a budget player. But it's an amazing card. And with me, the way I use the deck currently, it's really, really energy heavy. So Secret, like I said, it's good, but there will be times on turn 3 you're going for a game. And that just allows you to survive. So those turns of going for a game is pretty much dead, right? So for you, who are the underdogs coming into set 12? Set 12? I'm thinking you're referring to leaders. See Deadpool? Underdogs? I'm going to say underrated. Oh, real quick, it's an easy question. 50 or 60 card Dark Broly? It's 50 cards. I like 50 cards. Like, me, I'm biased. I'm not gonna lie. I always say 50 cards because 50 cards breeds the most consistency. 50 cards with 4s, it just breeds excellence of consistency. So, underdogs for, I think you're talking about decks. For set 12, I'm not gonna do it justice because I didn't really sit there, like I said, and go through every set 12 deck. But I will tell you right now, Mecha Frieza should be on top of everyone's radar. Because if you thought Dark Power Massacre was a problem now, it's insane with Mecha Frieza. Because you're guaranteed to have him. You have Mega Frieza on board. You play your Planet Vegeta for free, and you search your Dark Power Massacre, and you play him turn 1. That shuts out half of the decks. And the decks that do have answers for it, he has an answer to that answer in Cold Bloodlust and other forms of ability to negate. So it's pretty good. A lot of people say crazy stuff about the Cooler Unison. I personally have my own feelings against it because I'm like, Mega Frieza takes his own life. This gives you life back. So you're able to just continuously spam extra cards and just taking a life. I'm not going to get into this video, but let's just say Mega Frieza is going to have to run a Unison. Because when you combine Mega Frieza with the ability to play free extra cards, and then the ability for a Unison to allow you to, not even just the rejuvenation, right? The ability for the Unison to allow you to play your free counterplay Vegeta, which rests your card, and it's a blocker, and you can hide behind a Nimbus. So now realistically, your opponent has one attack left because you have a blocker. It's just completely insane. And that's only one attack left if they have a Unison in play with a battle card and a leader. Because you'll Nimbus the first one, then you'll have a blocker for the second one. So if they don't have Unison on board, they have one attack left, point blank period, and that's it. So if you're sleeping on Mega Frieza, guys, I'll say right now, do not sleep on that deck. 100% don't sleep on that deck. That deck will low-key smoke people. But for Black, I'll tell you right now, with Vegex and my playtesting thing, it's been swift defeats. Because if you sit on this one-drop Goku that has Deflect and says every time you use a counter card, you have to warp a card, you have those things in multiple, Mecha Frieza ran. Against my build, Mecha Frieza, he just couldn't last. He really couldn't. He was losing one from Nimbus, with the Nimbus, and multiple cards at a time, with no answer to my one-drops whatsoever. And those one-drops, realistically, let's say, if you need Black Masan, Dark Power Masan, or if you need that one-drop Goku, realistically, play 8, because you play 4 of those, and you play 4 Power Bursts to guarantee you find it. Know your matchups, guys. That's really, really huge. Once you know your matchups, you know what cards to mold for, and you know what cards you have to sit on in order for your opponent to grind. And by the time they grind, they lose too much advantage for them to be able to beat you. So that's the best way I could put it. Yeah, I don't see any more questions. Deck-wise, Turles, Janemba, Pycon. Those decks, it breeds consistency, right? Because even though those decks are really, really good, once again, you have to look at the top dog of the meta. I love Vegex to death. I love my black decks to death, but it's Red Broly. Because Red Broly just has... Red Broly spread against the meta. It covers a lot of the meta. It's probably 2 decks, which is Mega Freeze and Sync Shenron. Those are 2 specific decks that cover Red Broly. Besides those 2 decks, its spread is just excellent across the meta. So you running in, I base every deck running to Red Broly with those decks such as Janemba, Pycon, and Turles. That's not something I'd recommend you doing whatsoever. Because Red Broly is really, I thought the TPs were gonna go down once January came or March came. But those TPs are already going down because those TPs are already reprinted. So $30 TPs, you can steal a playset for $100 online. Someone will give you a set of TPs for $100. I'm telling you, Red Broly players, if they really, really want to just crush your soul, they'll hit you with nothing but crit. That's it. All the other attacks will be able to destroy your battle cards and be able to destroy your innocence. But the best way I can tell you to you, if I were to play Red Broly against myself playing with Jax, the version of me playing Red Broly would probably win that game specifically. Because Red Broly just allows for a lot of advantage, which is just insane. And consistency too, like guaranteed pieces, which is insane. What's your opinion on the total leader of set 12? I didn't really look into it because, like I said, I don't want to say anything crazy. I didn't really look into it. All I know is that it comes into the starter deck with the new cards. And I'm like, if this is talking about Dark Broly, I'd rather just play the Dark Broly leader. Because the Dark Broly leader allows you to survive to a certain extent versus that leader. That's all for it. But I'm not really going to because I don't want to downplay anything. Because, once again, I want to do everything due diligence and do my fair share of research before coming to a decision. Bulma, bro. Yeah. Bulma could be nasty. The thing about Bulma that being nasty, it's literally, it came in Travis used it against being top cut. I was playing Travis Washburn top 8. Like, in my opinion, one of the best red players. In my opinion, it's Travis Washburn and Tim Palacios, probably the best red players in his game. Oh, Robert Ricci too. I'm sorry, Robert. Best 3 red players in the game. I used Dark Prime Mass saying thinking it's going to be over. He went because he lost game 1. Thinking it's going to be over. He's going to sit on Dark Prime Mass saying he was a counterplay that just I forgot what it does. I think it if your opponent plays something that's 5k or lower, it just sends it to the drop or KOs or something like that. It's really really disgusting. So yeah, Bulma could be there. Okay, yeah, that's about it. Looking through all the questions, I'm pretty sure I got everyone. So yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll probably have like an actual team chat with other team members. I know Nick's been wanting to get on here for the longest. Probably get Nick, Andrew, and whoever else is available. Probably tomorrow or Thursday before the event to give you guys a more, I guess, versus just my opinion. You have like a more around evaluation of the meta. So like I said, I really want to get a lot of videos out to you guys before the webcam event because I want you guys to be able to have the invites to attend these events. So without further ado, I'm probably gonna get my son because he's going crazy out there. And do you think Unison Toll will be a staple for bot? No, I don't. But I'm referring to the Unison, the one that steals your cards. I don't think so. Yeah, so that's the last question I see. So thank you guys for tuning in. Stay super, stay safe, safe holidays. Love you guys, and be good. Be safe. Again, it's President. Be safe.